Hey, this is Herndon Davis from MortgageRealEstateServices.com. I'm a mortgage broker, and my sole purpose is to help to get you mortgage financed for those investment properties. Now, when I talk about investment properties, I'm talking about those properties that you do not live in, but that you own and you gain rent from, revenue from. So it could be a single family house, it could be a duplex, a triplex, a fourplex, or a small apartment building. It could be a shopping center that small businesses are in there renting space from you. It could be a warehouse. It could be many different things commercial-wise, a retail building that houses a corner store or a gas station, all right? So my job is to match you with the right lenders. All right, so in today's webinar, I want to talk about something that's really near and dear to my heart because I've seen it happen across my clients multiple times, and it hurts to see it. This webinar is going to deal with how to keep family property and businesses in the family for development. All right, how to keep family property and businesses even in the family for future development. All right, so this is a topic that not many people really want to touch because it deals with the inevitable, which is death. You're going to die. I'm going to die one day. All right, and not preparing for it is not cute. It's not funny either. All right. So what has happened is that many people don't seem to leave wills or living trusts or insurance even to pass on to their loved ones. And if you are an heir to a family plot of land or heir to a family business, you better make sure that the elders up top have something planned, because if they don't, that family property and that family business will go right on out of your family. And I'll give you some examples. What will happen? Often when a family house or a great auntie house, or whatever it is, big mama's house, or whatever you want to call it, she passes away or he passes away. If the house is not kept up, if there aren't any apparent heirs to the house, then who owns it? Okay, and that's within itself a legality issue, depending on what state you're in. All right. Let's just say there were heirs, and for whatever reason, the heirs didn't keep up the house, nowhere to be seen, etc. Property taxes aren't kept up, the house isn't kept up, then eventually the house is sold on the footsteps of the county courthouse and sold for back taxes and liens. Or there's a lien on the house from the bank, and the bank sells it, puts it through foreclosure, and it's sold that way. All right, so that's one possibility. And that goes for land as well, or for business assets as well. A second thing is that let's just say there are heirs and they are all managing the property together. All right, let's say that there are a bunch of heirs, let's say 10 heirs, 5 heirs, it doesn't matter how many it was. But let's say they're now dying off. All right, and when they die off, you need to think about this. If the level above them left land to these 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever, that land needs to be either placed in a trust, family trust, or it needs to be divvied up upon death. The reason that has to happen is because what will happen is that it will go out of the family very quickly because either people aren't keeping it up, property taxes aren't being paid, liens aren't being paid, or there is some crafty, mischievous family member who somehow gets control of the property and now controls it and is theirs. All right? And then what happens is that when they die or when they go into a nursing home, all the creditors come swooping in to take that land, to take what is owed to them. Let's say there's a bunch of creditors and that person dies off. And now you think, okay, that person now has died off. Now I get to get my share of this land or this business. And that's not the case. Because if everything is now in his or her name, and they had debt going to a nursing home, they had debt going to when they died, and it's in their name, not your name, not your family's name, then you get nothing. Okay? And then it gets sold off to a developer, it gets sold off to someone else, and you lose control of everything. All right? Or what might happen is that, what happened with me I was trying to buy a house. It was in a really great gentrifying area here in Houston. The house was really dilapidated, really. And the person who owned it was not the person who was paying the property taxes. All right. So that was an issue within itself. So I, along with an assistant of mine, did a lot of research. Come to find out that a woman married a man, and he bought her mother's house, which was being used for business. But the man had a child before he married the wife, and he adopted a child after. Now, it wasn't really an official adoption. Again, it was a play adoption. He adopted his brother's child for other reasons, which I won't get into. He signed an affidavit of something when she enrolled in school, but it wasn't an official adoption. But everyone treated her as if she was part of the family, as a child. All right. So there was a will when he died. He left the house, and he left everything equally to everyone else. However, what was his wife and just 2 children. However, the house that I was trying to buy was not in the will. Don't know why that was, but it was commonly known across the family that that was going to be the daughter's house. All right, fine. Make a long story short, the daughter didn't pay on the property taxes in the house. She didn't care for the house at all. The house is about to be sold to the city and sold on the county steps 10 years later. Okay. The stepmother knows nothing about this because she just assumed that the daughter got the house, stepdaughter got the house, and she's paying on it, although she owns it. Okay. Now, the stepmother's son from a previous marriage or union now is helping his mother in her finances. So I come in wanting to make an offer to the stepmother. Wait a minute. The daughter is involved. Well, technically she isn't, but if the father saw her as a equal sibling or equal heir, fine. I'm not going to argue that, although legally she wasn't one. However, the problem lied with the fact that the house was so dilapidated that the stepmother would have said she would have sold it years ago had she known the stepdaughter wasn't taking care of it. All right. Now here I come along wanting to offer them a really, really low price for this house. Mind you, the house is dilapidated. They owe $30,000 in back taxes on it. Okay. And they want like almost market value. They want a tax value for it. And I was not about to give them tax value for it. But I was going to give them something. All right. Because no one could get along. Everyone was bickering with each other. All right. I exited the deal. The house now is owned by the city. And now some big developer is going to buy it. They were arguing over who would get my reduced share or wanting me to come up. Now they have zero. They have nothing. Nothing. Okay? It's really important. Don't get greedy when your family stuff is not right. Here's how you avoid the family mess of having someone in the family take your property, having someone die and having their creditors take your property, having someone not pay on the property taxes and not have a clear vision on what to do with it, and have it dilapidate over time. All right. So there are many ways. One is a will. Okay, but wills aren't always enough. You need to have either land trust or family trust. And first of all, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm giving you suggestions that I have come across in my travels or travails dealing with real estate development. Okay, it's best to have things in a family trust or land trust that direct how things should go. All right. You could also do this in a will as well, but just be careful about wills, because if you want everything to be evenly divided, make sure your bank accounts have everyone's name on it as beneficiary, because if not, then they won't get what's evenly divided according to what you want in your will. Okay, so long story short, you need to make sure step one is that your elders, you need to talk to them. And many people do not want to talk about death. All right, apparently they think they're going to live forever, or they think if they talk about death, they're going to die soon. If they talk about getting a will, they're going to die soon. Or about life insurance, they're going to die soon. I don't know what it is. It's a superstition. But you need to sit down with the elders. You need to find out where this land is located. It's very important. You need to find out who's paying the property taxes on it. And then you need to go online or order the deed for that property to see whose name is on it, and order the will. Okay, all the wills according to that property. Order the deed, the will, and get all the property tax information on it for the past 10 years, 10, 15 years. Okay, that's really important. That's step number one. Step number two, you need to encourage your elders, whoever is living, to create a family trust directing how things should go for everyone else. Now, it's unfortunate that many people may have passed on now and they have heirs that are underneath them. And so you really have to recognize that what might happen is that you may have 1, 2, 3 remaining elders, all right? And you have 40 secondary next line successors or secondary next line heirs. Because if they had 5 other brothers and sisters, they all had 5, 6 children. And they all had 5, 6 children, all right? So because nothing was done up here at the top to create a will or trust to dissolve the property, to sell it off, to split it up legally, or to put it in the trust, now you've got 40, 50 people who are all heirs to this one property, all right? So here's how you resolve this. You run title on this property. It's really important you run title on it. You'd be surprised of what you find out when you run title on a property. And unfortunately, people being cheap don't want to dig down in their pocket to do it. Well, how much is it going to cost? $700, $800, I don't know, $1,000, depending on where you live. Well, I don't have it. Okay, people swear on a stack of Bibles they don't have $600 to run title. Okay, split it across, I don't know, 5 families, 10 families, 20 people, 30 people, 40 people. Out of 40 people, you should be able to raise $600 to run title or $1,000 to run title. All right, but if no one in your family wants to dig down in the pocket to contribute 20 bucks, then you're going to have to do it yourself, right? If you want to have control over this family property business, you're going to have to really do it yourself. All right, so what you want to do now is after you've run title, you want to, when you submit to title, you want to submit the highest heir, you know, their heirs and their children and their children's children. Reason being, depending on what state you're in, all these people are heirs, depending on what state you're in. And if there are liens against these people, those liens are going to be attached to that property. Very, very important that you recognize that. That's why it's important to get a trust, because a trust will shield you from those creditors, shield you from the probate process. It passes over that. It goes directly to whatever the instructions are for that trust. It's either completed or the trustee doesn't. Okay, that way land passes, property passes, houses passes, real estate passes exactly the way the elders wanted it, and now you're all protected in a legal entity that is shielded from creditors. All right, that was step number 2. Step number 3. This trust has to delineate exactly how you want property to pass on, how you want to divide up proceeds from the development of the property, whether it's timber rights, whether it's land rights in terms of renting the land to development, whether it's building or selling it and developing it and building a 20-story office building on it. You need to decide how that is passed on to the heirs. Okay, is it evenly, or is it top level heirs get more? Other heirs get less. It just depends. Now, so what's really, really important is that you delineate how you treat in-laws. Okay, I know this sounds horrible to say, but I've seen examples where people have lost businesses and lost property because, say, husband and wife ABC have a daughter. Okay, the daughter marries a man who has children already. ABC passed away. The daughter has children as well with this man, and towards the end of her death, because she dies for the husband gains control of her assets, shielding it from creditors, going to a nursing home, shielding it from creditors. But he very greedily does not share it with the children because legally he doesn't have to, because now it's legally in his name. Now, when he passes away, his children that came before he married this woman inherit what was originally meant for these children over here. All right? Did you follow that? So property that was here now is shifted to a completely different family over here, but it should have gone over here. That's very important that you recognize that. Who inherits what, at what level, and who makes the decisions in these trusts, whether it's a family trust or land trust. There are other things, other legal mechanisms you could do. You could create an LLC. An LLC is really a good idea as well, to create this as well. So think about it. I want you to talk to your elders, because when I come along, when a developer comes along and wants to buy your property, wants to help you develop your property, they are stopped by the fact that you all do not have your stuff together. And what will happen, they will sit back and wait until the family dissolves, or the family doesn't, things fall out of the family in terms of inheritance to other people, to in-laws, to divorcees, to people who divorce out of the family and come back for their share. It all gets destroyed. And you're destroying what your ancestor had before that was meant to be passed down to you. And now all it takes is someone with great big deep pockets and a nice little slick lawyer to come in and take what was rightfully yours. All right? So I encourage you to, one, talk to your elders and get all the information about the property that is in your family, meaning location, get the deed, get the wills online, and also next, run title on the property. Even if you have to pay it for it all by yourself, spend the money. And then you need to delineate who inherits what, and delineate how in-laws get their share, or if they get a share, and if people who are divorced from the family can claim a share of the property or share of the development. It's really important, all right? I really want people to keep things in the family if that's what they want, but if it's too difficult, fine, sell the property. But I cannot buy your property if the title is cloudy, if there's a war between family members as to who owns it and who should have gotten this and should have gotten that. That does you no good, does me no good, and someone else from the back end will come in and take what really is yours. All right? Did you get all that? If not, rewind. Please share this video along with my other videos dealing with mortgages, dealing with investment properties only, meaning properties that you buy to rent out to tenants or to rent out to businesses, commercial or residential properties. I'm a mortgage broker, and I am acutely aware of your needs, and I can help you match you with the right lender. All right? Until next time, talk to you soon.